But as soon as it's over, flip it back on over to BTN. Now, the guy who's going to be calling the game with the great Gus Johnson
That's right.
is the equally great Joel Klatt.
Thank you, sir.
Who is joining us now. And, Joel, you are a quarterback,
yep.
A former Colorado Buff. Take us through the quarterback situation. I'm interested in your evaluation of both guys, and then this interesting curveball we have with Wisconsin where we don't know who will play and how you think that might impact the game.
Yeah, you know, I'll start with Trace McSorley because I think that what he has provided in the back half of this season has been important exponentially for Penn State. I mean, the entire offense, you can say it runs through Saquon Barkley, but it really starts with the decision-making of Trace McSorley. Because every decision in the run game is important, whether you're keeping the ball, whether you're giving the ball. And if he's off in terms of his mental side, then they're not going to be able to be successful running the ball. I've loved what he's been able to do. And another thing that I think Trace McSorley gives Penn State that maybe isn't afforded Wisconsin is that great eraser. When there's a mistake up front or not the perfect play call, he can make everybody right, whether it's the coaching staff or the offensive line. So I love his ability to do that. And then on the other side, guys, these two quarterbacks, whether it's Hornibrook or whether it's Houston, and I do think we're going to see both in this game. I think Hornibrook will play. I don't know if he'll start, but I think we're going to see him play. These guys have to be great game managers because the way that Wisconsin moves the ball, and Matt, I know I appreciate this, I'm sure you do as well, is with formations, personnel groups, and matchups. Yeah. And they've got to get into the right play. They've got to operate their offense to a really high level of execution. And a lot of that has to do with the way their quarterback is operating. And that's not even throwing the football down the field. That's just operating the system. So I think the guy that can get out there and get into that operational mode quickest and be very efficient is going to be the guy that will stay out there for the bulk of the time.
And I think the other thing to piggyback on that is, yes, he's the guy who's running the whole operation. But make no mistake about it, this is a run-first team.
That's right.
And they like to be in control in the running game. And part of that with the quarterback position is getting that thing set up, getting in the right formations, getting everything on the same page. But there is a difference, Joe. And that is when Bart Houston's in the game, he's a little more mobile.
Sure.
And it changes just a little bit how you call that play.
I would also say that for a veteran quarterback, you understand your importance in the run game a little bit more than a young quarterback.
Yeah.
And when you're going to run this style of offense that Paul Chryst implores at Wisconsin, the littlest things matter. Like how far you get in terms of your depth at the mesh point of the handoff.
Oh, yeah.
How skinny you can be so that you're allowing the backside cutoff and allowing that backside cut for your running back. And in that sense, Bart Houston gives them a little more in the run game just from the way he operates. He's got more extension at the mesh. He's a little bit thinner on his takeoff. All of these technical terms that make a big difference for the guys up front or the running back in the backfield.
Absolutely, Dave. Just for the record, that's why I could never play quarterback. I had a problem getting skinny with that part.
That's right.
Something just didn't quite work. Here's a question for you, Joel. And I know how it works with other positions because I know how I felt, and Spice and I were talking about it earlier. But the quarterback position is probably the most unique position in all of sports.
Sure.
And you're in charge, you're running the whole thing, and you're responsible for a lot of people on top of it. And so when you have a system that's I'm in, now you're in, now you go, no, I'm a, yeah, your feelings on that and thoughts.
I mean, I don't love it. Right.
Spoken like a true QB.
That's right. That's
well
right.
done.
That's
nice.
right. Listen, I mean, you can call me selfish or not. I never wanted to come off the field. You know, and part of the fact that the reason I didn't want to come off the field is I don't want to lose my position, right? And so I think it's a difficult thing. Now, in this day and age of college football, you see more two-quarterback systems, but in a lot of those systems, each quarterback is playing a very different role. And so when they're fulfilling different roles, I think it can work. In Wisconsin's case, I think that the culture of the team has allowed them to succeed despite using two quarterbacks in the same role.
And Dave, you know who that goes back to? That goes back to Paul Chryst.
Absolutely.
Coach.
That's right.
We're going to ask him a bit about that coming up next as he's going to join us. But before I let you go, fans here, both Penn State and Wisconsin, want to know, what will it take for the winner of this game, in your mind, to end up in the college football playoff?
So listen, Dave, I'm a big earn it on the field guy, okay? And I understand that Ohio State only has, you know, the one loss. I believe in my heart that the winner of tomorrow night's game deserves a chance in the playoff because they will have won the toughest conference in the country. That may or may not happen, but that's what I believe in my heart. I believe that the winner of tonight's game in the Pac-12 deserves a shot in the playoffs. So we'll see if that happens. I certainly think if the winner is Penn State tomorrow night, that committee has got a heck of a decision with Ohio State having lost that game in Happy Valley. I mean, that's a heck of a decision.
So what happens if Colorado wins and Penn State wins?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot. Now you got to go with the Buffs, right?
No. Lions always beat Buffaloes. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. I know.
Okay, well, now you know.
I didn't really know
slower.
they coexisted much.
Yeah.
I feel like they were in different
true.
places.
That's
but,
true.
You know, what do I know about the wildlife? Maybe the water buffalo. Yeah. All right, Joel Klatt, thanks a lot. Have a great call
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Appreciate it.
Really